timid of metamorphosis. Now, this guy is the catalyst of young, black, and strong. This guy is a walking revelation. Now, this guy is a guy that has made the mother proud by making a whole book launch in a club. Damn.
Can't believe that. Rude.
Now, wait a minute. Yeah, bro. Yeah. I'm a roast. If gangster was Howard, or was a peasant, that would be. Now, if Mamelodi Trains could tell a story of a woman who was trying to raise a child with a mandate bigger than hers, would speak. It would speak of Howard Zondo. If someone was about to give a baby in a seed form, and that baby hasn't been born yet, but when you get close to that seed, your spirit leaves. As the baby comes to this earth, as you still come close to this baby, the newly born, and your spirit still leaves. That's how it's over. Now, if you would have to write a story of a hope, or story about hope, in a shack, where every time when it was raining, you had to move stuff around, and sleeping was not part of the contract that night, that would be Howard Zondo.
Come on now.
If there was a man who solely walked, breathed, spoke the duty of a man that's after God, that would be Zondo. Now, when COVID-19 came, depression, anxiety, sabbatical, he had to move away from social media. As the best in the country, Africa's greatest asset, approved by Indonesia, approved by Netherlands, but with a zero bank balance, would be a person. That would be Howard. Now, if I were to describe 4 stages, from an egg to the caterpillar, the most powerful one, the pupa, or the cocoon rather. And the last, and the 4th stage that we see today, after going through all of that, through COVID, that would be the butterfly. Because then, if I were to say that stages, those 4 stages, we're talking about a process. He has walked every stage with grace, with elegance, with excellence. That will be Howard Zondo. As in finally, Peggy, I feel like I'm at an Oscar a premiere or whatever the case might be. But ladies and gentlemen, give me Peggy a little But ladies and gentlemen, acclaimed, called, sent, approved by Radio 702 in South Africa, one of the very finest talents we have in this country, Mr. Sir Bra Professor Howard Zondo is in the building. Let's
We're here.
No, it's been a long day. So, Nietzsche once said, when I write in blood. Today I'm literally dropping blood, like literally. That's pretty much how intense and hectic the day has been. So, I've got a question that I would like to ask you guys. And then you can answer however way you want to answer this question. Some of you probably know this question. So the question is, why did the chicken cross the road? Simple question, really. Yeah, Kuku. A chicken.
KFC.
You guys know chickens. I need a KFC, Bruce. There's a KFC down here, down the road. Do you know that thing before it's before it's thick? Do you guys know why it crossed the road?
For greener pastures.
What? Can I hear? To where? To get to the other side. Okay. Why else did the chicken cross the road?
Saw the children on the other side.
It saw the children on the other side. Okay. Why? Why else would the chicken cross the road?
For greener pastures.
You heard me say what?
KFC was chasing.
Oh, KFC, he was running. Why else? Why else did the chicken cross the road? Why else?
For greener pastures.
For greener pastures. Okay, I will take one last response. Why else did the chicken cross the road? I don't know what that thing is called. Yes, sir.
To explore new territory.
To explore new territory. You guys know the Buddha?
Yep.
Yes.
Do you know what the Buddha said?
Nope.
The Buddha said, if you find the chicken on the road, kill it. The whole Buddha said, when you find the chicken, you must kill it. Aristotle says the chicken had to cross the road because it had to utilize its potential. Some of the other guys said, Van Gogh, this guy wrote a book that I love, Sorrows of Young Weather. He says, the eternal hand principle made it to do it. Then Nietzsche, the blood guy, he says, because if you stare too long across the road will also stare back at you. Paul Sartre, one of the fathers of existentialism, says, in order to aim in good faith and be true to itself, the chicken found it necessary to cross the road. There are chickens in here that cross the road. So the question is, why did the chickens cross the road so that they can be here? I'll start with this chicken. That they were talking about so many things that I don't really know about. But this particular chicken, it was 2020 in August. So it was deep into COVID back then, as most of you would know. And so I then decided, you know what, let me take a break. Because at the time I wasn't feeling well. But I just thought, no, it's a smaller break in September. Okay, September comes, the boy is not downloading WhatsApp. Okay, October comes, download November. November comes, maybe December. December it's holidays. Then January until maybe this year 2022 when I started to be, I guess, somewhat active. So the question is, why didn't this chicken cross the road, so to speak? Because all the chickens were doing virtual talk. I mean, I'm not disrespectful to the other people who were, I'm just using the chicken as a joke, because some chicken will cross the road and some chickens won't. But I want to find out why the chicken would cross or why the chicken wouldn't cross, for that matter. So people are doing what TMP, what the Mikey, what interviewer, we're going live, and I'm thinking, oh, there's no way I can be putting nice things there to interview people. So it meant I couldn't do anything virtual, so to speak. Went on Instagram, I thought, okay, let me start a personal development show, interviewed a couple of guys, but then I'm thinking, no, man, my chicken is not really spreading its wings. There's something about my chicken that is just not able to fulfill its potential. So why then is that the case? Then it just happened when I was taking the break, I then realized actually I wasn't doing well. I was literally sick. So December, it's my birthday on the 4th. So that particular day, it was a significant birthday number that I won't mention for some reason. Because if I mention it, then the chicken might be questioned further. So to protect the chicken, I won't mention why on that particular 4th, this particular day was important. But that's also the day where I had to then ask myself, what else can I do with my life? Because I had sort of achieved what is presupposed as success. I'm a young kid coming from the township. I'm a best-selling author. I'm an international speaker. I'm recognized. I'm well-known. I'm famous. I'm blah, blah, blah. But when I go to bed, there's something about it that I still don't understand. How could it be that I have sort of achieved this utopia, but my life is still pretty much amounting to, I guess not really to nothing, but to the degree in which I had perceived or dreamed of my life, I should have been in a different place. You know, because now you look at other chickens, they're giving birth, they're doing all these things. Then you ask yourself, but it's been 7 years. And in these 7 years, I've been giving birth. So how am I, my little, what do we call small chickens?
Chicks.
Chicks. There's too many chicks to talk about then. So to engage you, here's what I will do. I've got a couple of questions. So these questions will be part and parcel of this conversation. Please take one and then you pass. Because the thing that has really brought us here, the theme that we have, what lies under the surface. This particular theme in itself has been addressed by every speaker that has been speaking here, from the first person all the way to this particular chicken standing before you. And so the thing that I got to realize was at times we find ourselves in this situation where it's like, yes, I've gotten, let's say, this ideal success, or I've gotten this ideal pathway to my life. But somehow it seems it's not really the pathway, or I'm not seeing the result that I thought I was going to get out of my life. And so my hope is that through these particular questions that we're going to be having, we can engage in this particular conversation so that we can see, Uguti, we're not in your chickens. Why are you crossing the road? Or if you have crossed the road, then please share with us how you were able to cross it. Because the thing that I'm really trying to do mostly, question earlier on. So I thought really he was going to give us something. So here's what I will do. It's not too many questions. So what I will do is, I'll point at you. You'll tell me which question speaks to you. Then I'll find out in the room how many other people are touched by the same question. Yeah, well, then through that, I'll start over here. Which question is speaking to you?
Just go in.
Yeah, I have a question. Just choose one.
If I were to change one thing in my life, what would? Sure, you don't have the okay, let's start with success.
Success. Success to me. Who else is touched by success to me? Success to me. Success to me. Sir, I need one last person. Success. Anyone who sings success and they're thinking, yeah, this one is speaking to me. Success. Going once. Success. And you too. All right. So I'll start over here. Over here. So success to me is
Achieving my mandate in this earth.
achieving my mandate on this earth. Okay. My brother over there. Success to me is okay, Mr. Edmond.
State of my journey in life.
State of my journey in life. So now, the question that I have, and this is where we get to engage. One says, it's the state of my life, it's achieving my mandate on earth. So the follow-up question is, why that particular response? Why is achieving your mandate on earth the most important thing to you, and that defines your success?
Simple. I understand that I was chosen before the foundations of the earth. He just died for whatever that I'm supposed to do. So I wasn't born just to drill. be articulate or to become a speaker in that sense. So there is a reason, there is a mentor, and it has to be important before I achieve that.
Okay, thank you very much. But khululeka insizwa yakithi.
inkinga bengikhula so ngiyakhula ngithi ngingano so hayi ngidala
Sure.
Sure.
angisokuboni ukuthi ngiyaphambili or emuva into engifuna ukuyibona nanoso namhlanje ngizeyini ngizwile abantu bakhuluma ya abashilo izinto eziningi ngiyabona ukuthi no incazelo yami ukuthi ngingayaphi ngelife yami phambili
Yini into oyibonayo insizwa yakithi?
These are into engiyibonayo so ish angisokuboni ngayo
Awukayiboni kahle.
Okay.
I'll come back to you. Mr. Edwin,
Oh, yeah.
state of
For me, it's
journey.
the state of the journey of my life because success to me is becoming. You know, it's how do I live this life? You know, am I happy along the journey? So it cannot be the status of achievements because I think we never get to achieve it. So it's about in the process of achieving whatever I want to achieve. What is the state of my journey or what is my state in life? Am I happy? Am I satisfied myself? Am I fulfilled? So for me, that's success.
Thank you very much. All right. So, let me go for you. Which question is speaking to you? Just choose one.
Well, like you would say, if I were to changing one thing in my life, like everything.
All right. Who else is touched by if I were to change one thing in my life, it would be? Who else? If I were to change one thing in my life, for once, I'm going to change anything. I'm going to change something. Last person. Who else, if I were to change one thing in my life? If I were to change, yes sir, you too, ne?
Yes.
So I'm going to start here. If you were to change one thing in your life, what would it be?
Okay, personally, I would say I would change if I would stop being because like sometimes I do get like opportunities. No? So but then because of my shyness, sometimes I tend to fall back and also not like trusting myself to like I could actually do it.
Okay.
So I would change that.
You would change that.
Yes.
Okay. Before
And because I know that I am capable of doing like big things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So brother over there, what would you change?
If I were to change one thing in my life, it would be helping people who are surrounding me to realize their purpose. That's one thing that I want to change in my life because I believe that the intent that was spoken about us before existence is the only reason for why we are here on earth. So that's one thing I would like to change
Sure.
with my focus.
Thank you very much. Say over here.
Yes, changing one thing in my life, it will be like in my own life, living my personality. Before pleasing other people, like I must be pleased. So I must live my own life in order to show other people. So myself, I must live my personality. I have to satisfy myself before I can satisfy other people. I mustn't do things by satisfying other people whereby I'm not satisfied yet.
Nice. Okay, so where do you think the holding yourself back began? Is it something that you think you were born that way? Is it something you saw? Is it just a thing where you kind of like thought, okay, maybe I've just got this thing and like you know, it's bigger than me. Where do you think that began?
Well, like it began when I started just modeling.
Okay,
Yeah.
one year.
Yeah.
So what happened? Someone would say, what happened? What's the story?
Okay, like normally, like I would say, like I'm not also like I'm too short.
Okay.
But then regardless of whatever they said to me, because like I knew like one thing about me. Once like I got like I ran.
Yeah.
Because I have this specific work that I do, and I know once I get to the rank, I kill it.
You kill it.
So yeah.
When last were you on that ramp?
Your okay, it's 20, 30 years like that.
Jesus Christ. There's no way that all this time there hasn't been opportunities.
Well,
right?
I did, because there was one I did also, it's in like Sterling. I think it was 2014. It was also big as well. And then the bigger one, it was at Villa Wood in Midland.
Okay.
Yeah. It was one of the most biggest. But then because I couldn't find apparently I couldn't get a size.
Yeah.
Because there was two. Yeah, it was one of the, yeah.
Michelle, you raised your hand.
If I were to change one thing in my life, to be having my mom back.
Your mom then. Which other question have you guys found that is burning for you? I'm not gonna choose anyone this time. Anyone who's got a okay?
Finance.
Anyone finance? Mr. TMP? William, raise your hand. Finance.
I've got a different one.
We've got different. Then the money is we shall catch it. Anyone finance? Anyone finance? Why finance? Why does it matter to you?
Hey, money matters, brother.
Yeah.
So I think from a male perspective particularly to say, we live in a world whereby if you're a man and you're broke, you're gonna be single. Yeah. Women don't see the value of a man if he doesn't have money.
Very tough.
Yes. So that is one of the reasons. The other one is people don't give you respect if you don't have money. Think about a moment when you went to a family funeral. You know, others come with big cars and you come as a pedestrian. They don't give you the same respect as those who are financially well. So those are the reasons.
It's raining. You're back with more rain. Let me hear your thoughts.
Not to come against what he was saying,
Sure.
but I do believe that there's an element of belief in what you say. That you believe that women don't want a man who's broke.
Yeah.
I think it's a belief system. It's not necessarily true. And I'm relating this to what William was saying when he was busy preaching on fire. So to go back in my days, you would get into a house and say, who is the cheapie amongst the girls that are here?
Yeah.
Not because he had money or anything, but his belief was that I can get no more back. So, but I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying that perhaps we can dig deeper into the belief system behind that. However, I do agree that the reason why I think finances matters to me is because of the influence it gives you. Power. I want to be powerful, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Okay. I want to be powerful, and when you ask the first question of success success to me is, I didn't answer that because I had this one, but to me success is finances and good relationships.
Okay.
So finance is at the core of power and influence. That's why it matters.
Mr. William Baloi, what's your question?
I think, this one that says failure to me is.
Yes.
I think Vanumdala, as we grow up, you realize life is simple, bro. Bro, the day you were born is the day you're going to die. And Ushabalala says if there's the one thing you could have back is his mom. But God knew that his mom was going to be born, give birth to that giant, and leave earth. But to me, failure is not understanding that we are here on a simple assignment. And once you align to that simple assignment, you will never go astray. You understand? So a lot of us are failing to understand our individual assignment that the universe has called us here for. So failure to me is failing to understand the simple concept that we were sent here for. I was telling you yesterday in Gitsi, as a speaker, whatever, I realized that I've always been my own problem. We've got this mentality. Say, I'm jealous, I'm broke, I'm keep like a power, but that's your mentality.
Yeah.
You understand? Sure. I went to an event on Monday, and I realized that to get funding and social development is so easy. But it's difficult. But the pomparas for the grannies will come here, they will eat lunch, they will eat breakfast, and they will have conversations. Can I get funding for that?
True.
It's basic.
Yeah.
But failure to me is just failing to understand a very simple concept of why we're here.
Nice. One last burning question. I'll take. Oh, no, it's 2 questions. I hope you guys are sharing the question.
The question is the same as.
Your question is the same as him?
Yeah, failure.
Okay.
Yeah, failure. Okay, let me start with this example. I think we all know Kaiser Chiefs. We all know Dr.
Why get the Chiefs?
It's coming. So, Dr. Kizamdong, by the way,
Yep.
we call doctor now.
Yeah.
So there was a time around 1950s where I think he was bought to go and play in US.
Yeah.
So, but then I think it was promised something like around 1 million a month, like around 1950s. So he came back. He had to give up that dream to come and found Kaiser Chiefs. So imagine if that guy he lived for himself.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's fine. I can make millions and live anywhere and have this successful life. So, but then he had to come to start Kaiser Chiefs.
Sure.
So God trusted him with these skills, like he was blessed. So he saw this gift in him that actually, I was here actually to make other people powerful, to bless more people. You understand? Through Kaiser Chiefs all these years, how many people they became successful through Kaiser Chiefs? You understand? So this question coming to me actually, I do believe that God actually he blessed me with whatever that he gave me to change lives out there. So failure to me be if I don't utilize whatever that God blessed me with. So I'll be failing the university.
Yeah.
Like you now, with what God gave you, if you were shy and put that thing away, wouldn't be here as we speak now. Yeah, so failing to utilize your skills, your gifts, that is failing.
Great stuff. Powerful. What's up?
Alright, the question that speaks to me the most is spirituality matters to me because it governs my life. In fact, it governs everybody's life. Because the moment, like I have a belief that the moment you move away from understanding your purpose, the moment you move away from understanding why you're here, the universe and God, you're becoming misaligned with yourself. If I'm a person asking, but why are my finances disrupted? Why are my relationships not working out? Why is this not working out? And they forget that they try to channel all their energies, all their hard work into investing into that something that is not working out without realizing that the greatest investment is investing in your spirituality. Because we need to remember that everything happens on the spiritual plane before it can manifest physically. So that means when everything is misaligned in that dimension, there's no way you can manifest positively in this physical dimension. So in essence, spirituality is self-work. Spirituality is an investment. Spirituality is who you are. Spirituality is not about what you wear. It's not about your physique. It's not about the material. But spirituality is about soul growth. If I can put it that way.
Great stuff. All right. I'll take you to good. What's your question?
The question that speaks with me the most as healing for me is about.
Okay.
It's about avoiding magnifying the situation at hand. And understanding that each of us here on earth, we were brought to this earth to fulfill an assignment, as my brother said there at the end. So in each story of anyone's life, we will play out different characters. It doesn't mean that you personally, your character, you are a bad person, but trust and believe that in someone's life you will be a villain. You will break people's hearts, you will make people happy, you will love people tenderly, you will be gentle, you will be compassionate to people. That is your assignment that you have to fulfill in those people's lives. So when you go through things that hurt you, and when you go through things that make you feel bad, or that make you feel like you are subhuman, so to speak, don't try to magnify and say, so I'm choosing to hate you forever because you did this to me. It was your assignment. You were brought to my life to break my heart so that I will be wiser and I will be kinder. So healing for me is understanding that we are all here to fulfill assignments. If you hurt me, it's your assignment and I forgive you, it's fine. If I hurt you, it was my assignment. Please forgive me, if you may. But you don't have to, that is my perspective of healing. We don't have to magnify and exaggerate our importance in life. It's simple. We just came here to fulfill assignments and we leave. Done, finished.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. Can you guys give a round of applause? So now, I'll begin my talk. The reason why I had to present these questions to you guys, and the reason why I felt it might be best before I begin to talk a lot without truly understanding what is happening in the room. So one of the things that I've come to realize, maybe one or two things, is that I think there's this presupposed truth that all of us are living under. There's this universal truth that is either set before us or the one that we are all supposed to fulfill in life. There's a particular truth about you as a young person to say, for instance, when you finish your high school, the question that you're asking yourself is, what will I be doing for the rest of my life? Now, how you answer that question, this is how you're going to be judged for the rest of your life. Because the decisions that you take, be it your career, finding a job, or following your dreams, whatever you do and you do not do becomes the fate and the plot of your life. Now, these universal truths are also set so that particular individuals can say they are living the right way, or that maybe a particular people feel that this is the only way to live my life, because if I don't do this, then I'm in trouble. It is a universal truth, as the guy at the back was saying, to say, look, if I don't have money, by virtue of that, there's an attachment to say, I have no value as a man. It's a universal truth. It's not the truth, but it's what we have been preconditioned to believe about our lives. Now, there's also this other one that also goes to say, look, you can't reach a particular age in your life and you have not achieved this and that. Because if you do not achieve these particular things, then we easily say this person has failed in a particular life. And so the other universal truth that we have, maybe it has a lot to do with our image, our self-esteem, how we view ourselves, to say, look, if you do not come across as a particular person in a particular way, by virtue of that, we do not see you as someone who is worthy of whatever it is that we have called to be of value. And so I then go hide myself in a particular corner because maybe I'm not as buffy as people expect me to be. So maybe the best thing I can do is rather to step aside and let those particular people do, I guess, who are called and who are chosen and whatever the case is. But if you dig deep into that, it's very easy at times that people's own fear and people's own projections can become your own reality. Because we have little time to really reevaluate the things that we have believed to be the truth and the things that we think that if I don't do 1, 2, 3, then by virtue of that, I am not X and X and X. But the question is, who sets those conditions? And if those conditions were indeed the truth, then why are we not in a position to say, all of us by now, surely we should have figured out this perfect way or this nirvana that we're all chasing? It's because at the end of the day, and as many philosophers would say, is that particularly Nietzsche, there is no right way, there is no wrong way, there is only your way. Because while we may say, look, the way is 1, 2, 3, and 3 and 4, but the difference is your character, your being, your story is not the same as yours. So if I take your template, whatever it is that you've said, how will I know that me, not by virtue of who I am and my limitations and whatnot, how can I achieve a particular character in life that is not mine to begin with? The purpose, therefore, of these questions is for the following. All of us do things because there's a particular motive that drives us. So an example, I would say, I want to be successful. Why do you want to be successful? Because to be successful is the thing that we all want to achieve. Okay, cool. And then, is this really the only thing to achieve? It's like, yes, this is the only thing. Why does it matter? Well, one, my family, if I don't do this, I'm the first one in the family to do this and that. So if I don't achieve this, then it means I am not a worthy person. But like, okay, fine. So if that is the truth, then what else? Why does it matter in fairness? Like, well, also part of my dignity, I need to be respected and I need to be valued. Okay, fine, if that is also the truth, then why does it matter for you to be valued and for you to be respected? Because this is what has been said for me and this is the way that everyone is living their life. When you continue to probe further and further, you realize that this person isn't even chasing anything. You are pretty much living an illusion. A reality that has been preset for you, and it has become a reality for you to say, if you don't do these things, then you have not achieved the success or whatever it is. Now, true success for me, or whatever it is that we're chasing, is actually for the very same thing that you seek to not be the thing that you get at the end of the day. So it's almost to say, now that I know that this is the vision that I've got for myself, me not achieving it is actually not the success. The success is in the awareness of why am I driven towards a particular thing. Because at times we mistake the motive behind our thing and we take them as, yeah, Joe, if I don't do this, then that means I'm not whatever it is that I should be. But if you dig deep into that, you realize there was a motivation. It's either the environment that you were in or what you were told or self-fulfilling prophecies. We all live under them. There's a kid in high school that was your classmate.
No.
First semester. I wanted the flames. Then the kid decided, maybe Mudimu Hasan the way he used to love me, Kisalomunya. Because I mean, Mudimu Rata by nature. And so, because you live under this special bubble that you've created for yourself, now you forget to do the actual work. The studying, the whatnot. Hey, I'm not the one to speak all those things. I don't have a degree. So, let's because of a degree and studying. But the point that I'm just trying to say is that, do you truly understand the motive behind the things that you have set for yourself? Because one of the things I had to realize for myself was that deep into this depression, it was also my universal truth that when I'm a bra, you've got this talent, you've got this potential, by this age you should have done 1, 2, 3. And then when COVID hit, I couldn't do this one particular thing. So for me, success was in what I do. Success wasn't truly about me being free to say, look, I'm willing to explore the different parts of myself, however way that these things may direct me towards. But because now I thought, yeah, well, I'm special, I'm chosen, I'm whatnot. Now, if I can't do this very same thing, that means I've failed in my life. And it then got me to question all the things that I had come to believe. Because now I've done this success thing, Mara, why is my life still stagnant? Because by now, really, I should be, doing all these major things. And that's why I couldn't even come across again on social media. Because a part of me also felt like I've been a fraud all along. Maybe now I've believed something that is not real. So to reconcile with the truth, I had to reconcile with the fact that have any of these things been truly mine? Or have all these things, even though yes, I may be playing my role, but have they been mine from the very first day? It's tough questions that we probably will be asking ourselves for the rest of our lives. Which is why even the question that we began with to say, why did the chicken cross the road? Because similarly, for me, that question is about why are you in this situation that you are in today? What has truly brought you to this particular crisis and whatnot? Have you understood really what brought you there? Hence, in my previous talk, the thing that I was mentioning was the theory, I guess, the hypothesis of the doctor and the patient. To say, a doctor cannot treat you if they don't understand your illness. But if I now understand the condition of your illness, I am in a better position to prescribe to you what it is that you truly desire.
Not even. So, but you have a powerful combined, right? We're supposed to be out of here by what time? From the poster? 3 o'clock. Yeah. We bought 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Now, it's 5 minutes before 5. So we have just bought the second hour.
Now we are done.
I'm just saying, guys. So please, man, just as you go in, and I'm not really in spirit, so my apologies. I'm not unclean that you have to age, but the joke must be there.
Any questions from the ones that we have? You all can take one, take two, then say five. Yes, sir.
So, hey man, hey, how are you? Yeah. So having questioned all of that reality, how then do you reconcile yourself? Maybe in Gabu's would say, what are you chasing now? Because, hey, no, yeah, hey, yeah.
That's a good question. I think the thing that I had to learn, and probably I still have to learn, is this concept of if all of these things were not there, would I still choose to be this person that I was chasing all along? And if it's still true that no, these are still my goals, my objectives and whatnot, then go for it. But if you truly realize that a lot of it had to do, because all of us, we all want power, we all want influence, we all want to feel like we are great. But the question is, at what expense? The price I had to pay, when I looked at the Woodsie, they know at home, I was never home. I had no time for taking care of my health, my emotions. I had no time for self-love, what I don't say girlfriends, it's not out of question. But so the thing that I had to learn for myself was, what does it mean to be human? Because as many people would say, is that if it means you have to use a thorn to remove another thorn, then the first thorn that you use, it's with the self-awareness that I'm using this one to take care of the other one. But often we don't have time to actually realize that I'm using two thorns all at once trying to solve one problem. So the beauty about all these things is that with self-awareness comes peace. Because now you're no longer trying to achieve something that is out of you, but it's really a thing of, am I becoming this person that I want to be? Because that vision is free from attachment. It's free from how people look at you, how people judge you. At the end of the day, it's what's the price that I'm willing to pay? And if you still want to continue paying that price, then so go for it. Why continue to pay for the price that you know at the end it's going to cost your health, it's going to cost the relationship, it's probably going to cost your life as well. So what's the price? Self-awareness. Going once, going twice, yes ma'am.
In a room filled with people from different walks of life, stripped away from any possession they have, stripped away from car keys, degrees, qualifications, and everything else, maybe properties they own and everything, what is the one element, one distinctive element that sets you apart from everyone else?
I think it's probably knowing that when all things are said and done, that my life was never about the tangible things, what I did, what I didn't do, or any of those particular things. But at the end of the day, it would be a question of, with what I had to understand about my life, the pain that I went through, the struggles that I had, did I then still become the person that I wanted to be? Because all of us at some point we find ourselves having to fulfill, maybe not even our own dreams, but we all have this feeling of, maybe because my grandfather was this way, because of that. And I think it's okay for us to meet those worldly expectations, whatever that they are. But remember that at the end of the day, Joe, life is not even about any of those things. Life is about, in this morning, were you present in your moment, when you wake up, were you really in your zone, in your truth, in your element? Were you really able to see the moments of your life as they come, or has it always been that? Because we are all, like the previous talk, in the matrix, where we are all under this illusion of thinking, no, this is the plug and this is what I need to do. So at the end of the day, was I then able to confront whatever the traumas, whatever the struggles, whatever the pain, and by virtue of that, I still came out and became the person that I wanted to be. So as Carl Jung would say, I am not what happened to me. I choose who I become. Because remember, we don't control the event. What happened to you, what happened to you, what happened to you, we don't control those events. But what we choose is who then do we become by virtue of those events. So at the end, it's like all of us have got problems. And that's the truth about any human being, no matter where you are. But the thing is about, who do I still choose to become by virtue of this? Because for some of us, the narrative that are holding our life aren't even our own narratives. It's the narrative that we believe that they are beyond us.
That's so powerful. Yeah.